Still here? Looking for something?
Just checking to see that everything's in place. Buggers might have hauled something off for pawning.
Actually, glad you're still here. Wanted to ask you about someone. Though well she knows the touch of silken lace, she shuns not straw when gripped in lust's embrace.
Molly, keeps things tidy for the Baroness Lavalette.
A baroness within reach and he settled for a chambermaid?
Dandelion's not one to judge folk by their station. You know that. Like he says, in the alcove, we're all equals.
Yeah. Guess a true poet observes life in all its aspects, examines it from all perspectives. If I didn't know him better, I'd say he was jealous about this Marabella.
Oh, I doubt it. Former pupil. And well, the tales he told me about her.
Doubt I want to hear them.
Probably better off not. Things between them took a turn for the strange at some point.
Meaning?
She had him wearing mummers' costumes. Took to calling him Christian, referring to herself as Anastasia.
Huh, truly perverse.
She didn't ken half of it. Called him her stallion once. That's the fool took it as a compliment, till she pulled a bit in the reins into her cupboard. Poor bastard fled out the window.
A figure most rare, her nature dual. Look deep in her eyes or be made a fool. Well, well, seems fascinated with this one.
Not without reason. Never been much for elven women myself, but this one's exceptional. Dare say Francesca Finderbeard be jealous.
You want to take this one, then?
Nah, you can have her.
Why?
See, elven beauty's like a young Beauclair wine, whereas I prefer vodka straight up.
Like a rose abashed of its crimson hue, fair Rosa would sink into humor's blue. She shunned her lessons in civility to swing her dwarf with agility. Dwarf? Never suspected he'd be so humble.
Dwarf's what Rosa var Atre named her Guihir. Well chosen, eh?
All right. But Var Atra? Her dad happened to be the Nilfgaardian ambassador?
He is. You know him?
Wouldn't say that. Had a brief conversation with him at the palace in Vizima.
Well, then you've a good notion of the kind of bloke he is. Commissioned Dandelion to tutor Rosa and her sister in the art of rhetoric. But we, Rosa, preferred swordplay.
How dare she reject the great bard in favor of a common swordmaster?
More than one, it seems. Week on week, we get fresh gossip about her thrashing another instructor. So bad he resigns. Word has it her dad's now looking to hire her next victim. Instructor.
Vespula. Name rings a bell. She threw his knickers out the window.
That's her.
Hollered something about him being a scoundrel with a voice like a consumptive pheasant.
That's her.
Threw flower pots at him.
Guess soul flames never die.
Well, know about all I wanted to know. Thanks for your help.
I will get you every last copper, with interest. Give me a week, please.
Whoreson's no bank. You get protection. You don't pay.
Help!
What you hollering for, stupid wench? What are you hoping for? A knight in shining armour?
Close enough.
Keep out of this, greyhead, not your concern.
Vespula's got someone else's protection now.
Really? Who's that be?
The King of Beggars made a deal with Junior. This is his turf now.
Didn't hear nothing about that.
But you have heard what Bedlam does to people who cross him. Or you need a demonstration?
Come on, Fritz. Boss wants it that way. It's how it's gotta be.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. To think there are men who'll help a stranger out of the kindness of their hearts.
Not entirely out of kindness, and you're not entirely a stranger.
What are you... Oh, I know you. You're that witch that took Dandelion out whoring. Gerald, right?
Not Gerald. Geralt.
Oh. Dreadful sorry.
What do you think? Where could Dandelion be?
Probably out whoring. That horse pheasant. That lying scoundrel.
Ouch. What did he do to get your goat?
Same thing as ever. Prize bullshitter came back saying it was till death do we part this time. And no more than a week passed before I spotted him in Harbourside, strolling with some trollop on his arm. 'Twas the last straw. All those questions about the washerwomen at the bathhouse, then this. I beat him black and blue and threw him out on his ear.
Dandelion ask you about other washerwomen? Not terribly subtle even for him.
Maybe he likes some sudsy.
Maybe. But what did he ask about, exactly?
Oh, this and that, really. What's it like at the bathhouse? Have I got any friends there? What are their working hours? I don't know. Maybe he's looking to hire one for his tavern. Maybe I got all in a huff for no reason.
This woman he was with in the harbour. Who was she?
Claimed she was his niece from Kovir. Ha! Horvir, more likely. Corset so tight her eyes were popping out her head. His too, come to think of it. An artist or a whore doesn't much matter as they're one in the same.
Thanks for your help. Listen, when I find Dandelion, anything I should tell him?
No. I mean, tell him he's a two-faced snake, but it would be nice if he dropped by.
There's the dwarves who plot slow ways to unsurely
Welcome.
I'm a friend of Dandelion's, looking for Elihal.
You've come to the right spot. How might I be of service? Need something shortened? Patch your trousers, darn your socks.
You Elihal?
Yes. Now pick your jaw up off the floor.
Sorry, I thought Elihal was one of Dandelion's girlfriends.
Oh, so it's that. Wait here. Any better?
So you're...
Elihal.
Did you and Dandelion... how did you two meet?
I met him one night in a tavern. He was blind drunk.
What happened?
What do you think? We spoke.
That's it.
I'm not sure what you're getting at, but I should make one thing clear. Men don't interest me. Told him that as well. Luckily, Dandelion's an open-minded fellow. We had a lovely evening. He became a loyal customer afterwards.
Dandelion visit your shop often?
I tried many times to talk him into a decent doublet. Sadly, he'd only come in to get a button reaffixed or a hole patched.
When did you last see him?
Some time ago. He brought in one of Zoltan's jerkins, insisted I sew on an extra pocket. Odd as requests go, I had the distinct feeling he'd actually come to talk.
What did you and Dandelion talk about? He ask about anything in particular?
Let me think. Had an ordinary chat, really. Although, indeed, he did keep asking about Kalkstein. If Dandelion and I hadn't laid our cards on the table at the start, I might have suspected he had a history with the alchemist. He spoke like a lovesick beau. In fact, he desperately wished to meet with him.
Kalkstein's in Novigrad? Wouldn't mind seeing him myself.
You're too late, I fear. The witch hunters nabbed him recently, burned him at the stake in Hierarch Square. But as he perished, the goings-on impressive. Fiery beasts circled his pyre, then rose into the sky and exploded to form letters.
Really? What did they spell?
Radovid sucks flaccid cock.
I know this is none of my business, but why do
I dress up? As a child, I dreamt of becoming a Doppler when I grew up. I became a tailor instead. Discovered clothing. Costumes can express all the complexities of one's personality. I'm a Redanian countess one day, a dockside thug the next. That is true freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never thought to become someone else? Even for a moment? Must be horribly boring being a witcher all the time.
I managed to stay interested. Thanks for your help, and nice to meet you.
I can help with much more. If you need new trousers or a vest, you know where to find me. Greetings. Come to look over my spring collection, perhaps?
Wouldn't mind a few rounds of cards.
Greetings. Come to look over my spring collection, perhaps?
Wouldn't mind a few rounds of cards.
Let me blades teach. You're a bigger rat picker than me.
The best stock in all Novigrad. No need to push, enough for all comers.
No one to push.
Very good. Manners before trade, always.
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher. White Wolf, they call you?
You stand accused of offending religious sentiment. We've orders to take you in for interrogation. Surrender your weapons.
Over my dead body.
Told you we wouldn't fool him. Well, you're due a beating. It'll just be more of a challenge.
Remember the preacher who spoke of witches and witchers? A man you humiliated before his faithful. He asked that we administer a sacrament on his behalf. Your last rites.
Let's end this.
Welcome. What can I get the honourable gentleman? New Poo Lanes, perchance? I've not got a true pair, but they'll be...
We get some cards in too, I'll be a happy man.
why you are so strange.
Ah, I see the honourable gentleman is not one to let a bargain pass.
Fine. Show me what you got.
So, what don't I got? Something for everyone. Seek and ye shall find. Cheap, too.
Thank.
Come again.
I'm a witcher! Ha, yeah!
The butcher of Buck.
Greetings. What have you got to pull, and how much do you need?
What makes you think I need a loan?
Tain't a man that don't from time to time. And you don't look nor smell flush with coin.
Just so happen.
Then...
Show me. What would you say to a few rounds of Gwent?
Looking for a barber? Well, you found one. Welcome. I'll plough and shave the gentleman's noggin for half price.
Give me a haircut. As long as your hands aren't too shaky. This is not what I wanted.
What do you mean, not what you wanted? Are you cut and quaffed? You are. And even as even can be, I'd say.
This is not the look I wanted.
And this is not the fate I wanted. I was to be an alderman in Mahakan. Instead...
You're an artist?
No, a witcher.
Never heard of that.
What did the cook make today? In the mood for some diversion. A game of Gwent would be best.
Oh, no.
Excuse me. I'm looking for Marabella.
I am she. Wait outside. Class is in session.
I'll wait.
It won't take long. It turns out he'll not come after all. Why not? A rat bit him, and he's caught a fever. Die for
Are you
rat
a
shit.
wizard? Yes, you do. Just the other day I saw it.
We're done for today. Gather your things and go home.
Wonder if the rat catcher will get well.
Like as not.
How do you know?
Mum says that if he but catches a cough,
Now can we talk?
Yes. What do you want?
I know you saw Dandelion recently.
Oh, yes. Longest afternoon of my life.
He read you his poems.
No. We perused the illustrated guide to fungi.
Maybe... No. Won't even try to guess why he wanted to do that.
Mold. That was his interest. When his hand abandoned my knee to point at a figure of penicillium, I knew the fire between us had died. Permanently.
See Dandelion after the fungus incident?
No. I even considered granting him another chance. His heart of hearts is pure gold. He simply needs a bit more discipline in his life. But he never came back to see me. So I thought if it's done, it's done.
Found a poem Dandelion wrote about you. Portrayed you as an unusually talented individual.
Really? Did he mention my poetry? Horses have always fascinated me. I've always longed to extol their noble beauty. Did you see any of my work at Dandelion's? Mere exercises, true, but I'd be curious to know what you thought of them.
No. Didn't see any.
Gee up! A snaky whip rose skyward. Gee-haw! Crack! She reined the beast in. The stallion danced betwixt her thighs. Lather bathed its chinny chin.
Sorry, don't know much about poetry. Thanks for...
What is it, Brian boy? Looking for adventure?
Ow! Excuse me.
you all the way to the garden.
Did you catch him?
No luck. Driving and slippery, the bugger, as quick as a tomcat. He scrambled out the hole in the back wall.
Sounds like it might have been an acrobat.
Maybe so. Both misses are fond of freaks. What do you want?
Rosa var Atra's expecting me. Supposed to give her lessons in swordplay.
Come with me. Miss Rosa awaits. Won't you realise what you've got yourself into?
Hope so too.
Miss Rosa's got a downright beastly temper. Shows no mercy once she grips a sword. Grab a wooden one. Take care not to hurt the little miss. Follow me.
You're my new instructor. Well, well, Papa clearly went out of his way this time. Wood, to start with. I must know your worth. I win! Is there not one competent instructor in this entire city?
I'm not actually your swordplay.
Really?
I'm a witcher.
A witcher?
What's so exciting about it?
Living on the edge. Tracking, then facing down beasts. Sleeping under the stars. Oh, it must be wonderful.
Try fighting a Zoogle while up to your neck in sewage. Nothing quite like it.
Not one of the high points, I suppose. Wait, weren't you about to ask me something?
Before I ask, gotta admit, you do pretty well with a sword. One pointer. Don't expose your left flank when you dodge.
Oh, I know. Terrible habit. Can't seem to get rid of it. I'd hoped to find someone in Novigrad who could help me to do so. But don't you dare try to dazzle me with advice. Already admitted you're not here to give me lessons.
Came to ask about your rhetoric tutor, Dandelion.
Rhetoric tutor? Good one. That is why Papa hired him, but not at all what the bard had in mind. He mostly played his lute and sang for us. I believe he thought he was wooing.
Mean he wasn't? But you had some sort of relationship?
If you call him chasing after me a relationship. Even so, there was nothing between us. Seems my sisters had a bit of fun at our expense. But enough chatter. Stand and fight. I demand a rematch. I win! My, you really are a lousy swordsman. In fact, I believe I could teach you a thing or two.
Not sure I can possibly pass up lessons from such a skilled young lady.
What are you two lovebirds whispering about? You asked about my relationship with Dandelion? Well, here's the mix-up's mastermind. Edna va Atra, the greatest mischief maker north or south of the Yaruga.
Wait a minute. Mean to say Dandelion mixed you two up?
On occasion, yes. But then Rosa would quickly set him straight. If you'd shut your catty mouth for a moment, dear little sister, I could explain. Edna sent Dandelion some love letters. She signed my name. Conceited as he is, naturally he fell for it. I was left to repel the aging bard's advances. Rosa, I had the best of intentions, you know that. I felt you needed help taking the first step. You blushed every time he sang a ballad. He'll next sing at your funeral if you don't stop it right now.
Calm down, ladies. No poet's worth two sisters nipping at each other's throats.
Especially not this one.
Listen, I just want to know one thing. Either of you seen Dandelion lately?
Edna might have. I certainly have not. My dear sister, I would never spend time alone with a man for whom you burn with a secret passion. Burn with passion? For one who incessantly praises another woman's talents? Afraid I've more sense than that.
Bet sophisticated young ladies like you know a bunch about politics.
We've picked up a few things. What would you like to know?
Wonder how the war's going. Any outcome looming?
Papa says much depends on Radovid, and on who captures Novigrad first.
What's Novigrad got to do with it? Free city. Never taken sides. Always stayed out of conflicts.
Oh, even children know Novigrad's home to the world's largest fleet. And they say the city's treasury's bursting with enough to equip 2 armies.
Emperor continuing to push north. Courtiers must be ecstatic.
His confidants must be. But Papa says that's not likely to last much longer.
Why not?
Papa says the war's disrupting trade, and...
Changing subjects. Dandelion act any different lately? Notice anything strange?
Strange? Not really. It's no use, Geralt. She's so enamored she'd hardly notice if he turned into a werewolf. Edna, what? You needn't pretend he followed convention. Remember when he took us to the cemetery?
Rhetoric lessons in a cemetery. Unusual even for Dandelion.
We set out to visit the graves of celebrated Oxenford professors. He ended up quizzing us about Margrave Henkel.
Who?
Eccentric old coot. Died recently. He'd apparently been an important and generous patron of the arts as a young man.
Who'd Dandelion sing about? Know anything about her?
I believe she's a poetess, or Trebaritz. Very skilled and exceptionally talented, of course. But who knows? The bard might have invented her just to make us jealous. Pitiful chorister. I'd say it worked. You've gone all red in the face just talking about it. Your face will be red when I scratch your eyes out.
Been a pleasure.
Exceedingly.
Of this I'm sure. No good can come of religious fanaticism.
Don't be shy, Nat.
How'd you get a hold of these? Never.
No one asked Eramas's will. He was burned at the stake a fortnight ago.
Strange they didn't burn his stuff with him. Witch hunters let you resell it just like that?
Why wouldn't they? These are common goods, some valuable only as collectibles, perhaps.
To matters less controversial, wouldn't mind playing a few rounds of Gwent.
Welcome back. So,
to matters less
Welcome.
Sup?
All rumor. Where did it? Show me what. To matters less controversial, wouldn't mind playing a few rounds of Gwent. statuette of a man. Wasn't carved but produced using magic. Ought to ask Triss about it.
How'd you find Novigrad? Does it suit you?
This Baronet's Lavallette's villa.
Shouldn't interest you. The Baroness don't mingle with just anyone.
Don't worry. I'm here to see your chambermaid, Molly.
Out of the way. Baroness is riding out. Be gone.
Geralt of Rivia at my doorstep? Surely this is no chance encounter?
Greetings, Baroness. Greetings, General. You're right. I'm here for a reason.
There's no mistaking you. But for etiquette's sake, Mary Louisa Lavalette, an Imperial General and a Witcher meet. And know each other. Surprising.
We've met before.
And how? Imagine this, Louisa. The Emperor desired a chat with the Witcher. I, too, was fortunate enough to meet him then.
So Geralt of Rivia now works for...
Looking for a girl named Molly. Heard she works here.
my maidservant. I'm afraid she's currently at the home of my dear friend Patricia Vegelbud.
Perhaps Geralt could accompany us. He could speak with Molly at the races.
Is that something you'd consider, Witcher? Care to partake of some sophisticated diversion?
Well, if Molly...
On our way?
My father owned a similar estate in Bruges. As a young girl, I'd travel there often to ride.
Shall we look at the horses? Do you like horses, Geralt?
I guess so. Called every horse I've had Roach.
The grey mare is Cantarella, sired by Cahir, the champion from Vol.
Grey's a nice color. For horses, too.
My coin's in the Black Stallion, Nemrod, purest Nilfgaardian stock.
Surprised it didn't salute you, General. Seem to know your horses.
No is not the word. Morvran's a true expert.
I find them to be far more honest than men. Must say, I'm curious how you manage in the saddle, Witcher.
Mostly just try to stay in it.
What would you say to a little race?
Not what I came here for.
Don't make me beg, Witcher. Tell you what, win, and I shall give you my finest saddle, made in Nilfgaard proper of beautifully tanned leather.
Why not? Wouldn't mind seeing if your knowledge of horses translates into riding skills.
Well said. So, which steed do you choose, Witcher?
Radovid's encamped nearby. Redanian chestnut might want to impress its king.
I'll not ride with you, but I shall bet on a steed. Nemrod will win, no matter the rider.
Cantarella for me, then. I see no point in delaying this. Let's begin.
Riders, ready!
I adore the speed, the rush of
Giddy
air.
up.
what you're made of.
What a thrill! A beautiful victory!
Thanks.
For one for whom every horse is a roach, you carry yourself exquisitely in the saddle. My congratulations. That is yours.
Now, could I talk to your chambermaid, milady?
Ah, yes, Molly. That is why you came here after all. The portly young woman. That's her.
Speak to her. And you must find us when you're ready to return to Novigrad. We'd be delighted to join you for the journey.
These days, they're brained, all of them.
I'm Molly, my lord. Wish to see me?
Call me Geralt.
Geralt! That Geralt! The one Dandelion's rescued time and time again!
Wouldn't be here if not for Dandelion.
Told me all about your adventures. How he'd ready you for battle with his songs. How he tamed the Kairan by playing his lute.
I meant that literally. Dandelion's why I'm here. Came to ask you about him. Know where he might be?
No. Sadly, I haven't got a clue. We've not seen each other in ages. The Baroness don't approve of our acquaintance. Says Dandelion's a good-for-nothing layabout. Can you imagine? But... or maybe his sister could help you. Such a nice girl.
Any chance you remember your last conversation with Dandelion?
Course. He came to borrow some coin for a barge.
What? Why do you need a barge?
To take me on a romantic cruise of the canals by the light of the moon. Said there'd be strawberries and that wine with the bubbles, and he'd sing me arias. But I've not seen him since.
You do realize Dandelion doesn't have a sister?
Sure he does. Saw him himself. Funny, she don't look like him at all. Blonde, for starters. Maybe they've different fathers.
Different mothers, too.
Maybe. But you could see he cares for her. Looks after her. The way he carried her packages and...
These packages, any chance they were trunks, travel cases? And this girl, possibly a Truberitz?
Yes, yes. Now I remember, she's a travelling performer. Sailed in from Kavir. Talented family, innit?
Exceptionally. And very loving as well, I'm sure.
If you only knew. Dandelion even wrote a poem.
Thanks, Molly.
Wait. Before you go, I've got a request. Dandelion told me once he'd show me his etchings, but he never did. I'd so like to see them.
Won't be too hard to convince him. He loves showing off those etchings to anyone he can.
Oh, that's wonderful! Thanks. And good luck to you on your search.
Yes? Ah, Geralt, there you are. Shall we return together?
Gladly. It's a long way to Novigrad. Road ought to seem shorter with some company.
I'd say the same. Well then, let's go. And here we...
Likewise.
Demon!
They ought to never let your kind in, Novigrad proper.
Been a bit out of my own business, but suddenly up he pops and heals me.
Double chase.
You're the only one here's made a mistake.
Leave him alone.
And who might you be? Temple Guard undercover?
Call me an admirer.
Made a mistake coming to this town, then.
You're making the mistake. Leave him alone.
And if we don't?
This man's not worth your efforts. His shop's drowning in debt.
You're right. Even looks like a pauper.
I beg to differ. Don't even know why I bothered the bugger. My apologies. Fare thee well.
I, gotta go brush my teeth.
Go home, merchant.
I will.
Watch it, Trav. Novigrad.
What village are you from? Willows. Isn't to the area 2 days road from Mazima. God arrived there just before winter.
How are you keeping, Bobby? Monsieur Sultan, you old bum? What's this? Ah, you're back! You met Poppy? She ought to start talking any day now.
That Field Marshal Duda's replacement? The Marshal was a parrot, you do remember, right? Where'd you get her?
At auction. Some mage's estate went under the hammer. Witch hunters and the Eternal Fire joined forces, staked out his place and rounded the sorry sap up, put his things up for sale. Happened to be passing by and saw this out. Came with their own cage.
How could you resist?
Could they? 'Tweren't possible. Ah, but dandelions what matters now. So, how'd you do? Learn much?
Tell me what you've got first.
A few bruises and a torn doublet. Otherwise, no much of note. He wasn't staying with any of them. Not seen hide nor hair of him in ages. All I learned was a few of Dandelion's pickup lines. Dubious worth.
Think I might have something better.
What are you waiting for? Let's have at it.
Women on my list hadn't seen Dandelion in a while. All claimed he had been acting strange. Also mentioned he'd been seeing someone else. Thing is, Mystery Woman wasn't on my list.
What's she supposedly like, this lass?
Blonde, from Kovir. A Troberitz, apparently, named Kellanetta or something like that.
That makes it clear as crystal. It's Priscilla. Aye. Must be her.
Why wasn't she on the list?
This Priscilla wasn't like the others. I think Dandelion more than fancied her. I think it was fervour.
He lusts after every other woman he meets.
How can I explain? Who does Dandelion love most?
Himself.
Exactly. And she's his mirror image.
What can I say? Could be he finally met his match.
She's his match, all right. Maybe more. Laddie's head's on fire. Lassie's got him whirling.
All right. Guess we gotta talk to her.
Priscilla works for the Mummers troupe. Reynard and the Foxen. Whenever they're in town, she performs nightly at the Kingfisher.
Mean we've been sentenced to an evening of poetry?
Must you always? This'll be true poetry, Geralt. You'll see.